Disabled Army veteran who has been battling health issues for years is now facing another battle. He says his landlord is trying to illegally evict him.
Kacey Montoya has a story in tonight's Problem Solvers.
In addition to dealing with the stress of his health and financial issues, now he's dealing with his landlord trying to evict him out of his San Fernando Valley apartment. He says the landlord wants him out so he can charge more to the next tenant.
I'm on a fixed income and I can only do so much.
53-year-old Roy Juergens is a disabled U.S. Army veteran. He's had 5 major surgeries in the last 4 years and has eaten through his life savings in the process.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be looking at another major surgery soon. And it's really hard to find a full-time gig when, you're in the hospital all the time.
He spent nearly 7 years serving in Europe, the Middle East, and Korea, and says he always figured his service meant he would be taken care of by the VA.
The problem is getting in the system. The problem is, the overwhelming wait. I mean, for one of my hip surgeries, I had my surgical date canceled 9 times. I ended up in a wheelchair for 1.5 years. And, if I would have had proper health insurance or proper health care at all, I would have been immediately operated on.
Because his Army medical records were lost in the 80s, he spent years trying to get veterans disability insurance. He had back surgery in June, his 22nd operation.
I had the elbow surgery first because I have this permanent spasm in my hand.
Neck surgery followed.
They ended up putting 4 titanium rods and 20 screws into my neck.
As if his health problems weren't enough to deal with, last August, Roy says his landlord at his Sherman Oaks rent-controlled apartment started trying to evict him illegally for petty issues.
I had chairs and a barbecue on the balcony, which we consider a community balcony because everybody uses that barbecue here, and that I had dogs. He's known that I've had dogs for 6 years. There are 14 dogs presently living in this building. 2 tenants actually run dog sitting services out of their apartments.
Roy has never missed a rent payment and knows he won't be able to find another apartment he can afford if he gets kicked out. One of his friends, who's an attorney, agreed to help Roy fight the eviction in court.
To live under the threat of someone saying, I've paid my rent, and my landlord still wants to throw me out just so he can make a few more bucks off of some new person who he doesn't know how long is going to last? That's something that I find morally objectionable.
Roy is a musician and a writer and says it's been hard asking for help, but he knows he has to fight this battle so he doesn't end up on the streets.
This is where I live. And I'm trying to get back on my feet again. I'm trying to get these surgeries out of the way so I can go back and be, a productive member of society.
I did reach out to his landlord, who had no comment on the matter. Roy is scheduled to go to court Wednesday to fight this eviction, and his friends have set up a GoFundMe page for him. We'll get a link to that on our website, ktla.com. In the newsroom, Kacey Montoya, KTLA 5 News.